I came here as a volunteer and a part-time employee for their summer program for after-school kids in the mid-2000s. But in 2013, I was hired to become the director of the Rock Club, which has a preschool and a downstairs after-school program, which at the time was religiously exempt. And so how I learned the program and the rules was just coming here and getting involved from a ministry standpoint of leading. And it's just grown from that over, hard to believe, almost 11 years now. We had our preschool state licensed a few years ago, and we did that to get involved with helping the city of Radford as they were coming out of the COVID. There was a lot of struggle to get kids back into school and into preschool. And so we were invited by the city of Radford to attend a meeting 2 years ago, right coming out of COVID. And then we were introduced to the mixed delivery grant, and that was also involved the United Way. And in the process of going through that state licensing for the preschool and getting to understand how that grant worked, I met Audrey Kirk. And Audrey was the one that began to teach us and to train us on how they could help us with making sure our employees were trained, and that things like first aid, CPR, mandatory training, background checks, they were able to help us out and get a footing on it. Whereas I think just during the COVID season, we struggled keeping that maintained. I carry about 22 employees. I just believe in being overstaffed. But when you have 22 employees and they're all required to have certain trainings and certifications, and then they have to do 16 hours of training a year, it's hard to stay on top of it. And so Audrey introduced me to the program, The Pathway, I think is what it's called, where they help us maintain getting all those trainings done. And so we started inviting Audrey to be a part of our staff meetings and our planning so that employees would get training done. First the essentials, and then the ones that just make them better employees. Anybody that works in daycare knows that it's a never-ending battle to stay on top of the things that are required by the state and that are required to be a great and an effective daycare. And so when Audrey talked to me, and Audrey would be the first to tell you this, I kind of hemmed and hawed a little bit because I didn't want it to be like, well, I don't want you to do my job. That's not what this is. I found it to be a great asset to my program. And when I focused on it, her being an asset to us, it has changed the dynamic of what we're able to get accomplished. I enjoy being a father to my two boys. And one of the pleasures of being here is just getting to be a father figure to a lot of kids, especially a lot of them that don't have fathers at home. And so just to be able to come in and to love on kids and encourage them and get their hugs, to direct them a little bit, and just do things that help support them educationally and with playtime. We have a pretty good time here. And just to be able to train the staff that does the same, we've really turned this program, to me, this is what an ideal daycare should be like. It's like a miniature family.